So about a week ago, Pokemon announced their newest title for the Switch, that being Pokémon Legends Z-A. With this announcement, people have made their own theories of the game, or predicting stuff like what Pokemon we should get for Megas or even regional forms. So for this video, I'm going to go over my predictions and also my wish list for the game. I know it's a bit early to figure out stuff like this, but it's always fun to speculate. But without further ado, let's go into my predictions / wish list for Pokemon Legends Z-A, starting with the starter Pokemon. So for the starters for this game was kind of difficult to pick. That's not for what starters I want to see make it into the game, but more like the options. I would like to assume we won't be getting a Gen 2, 5, or 7 starter because of Legends Arceus with Cyndaquil, Oshawott, and Rowlet, 1, 3, 4, 6, 8, and 9. But this is where the issue comes. For being Legends game, I doubt they'll have any of the Kalos stars will be your primary starter. I would imagine just like in Legends Arceus, you can find them in the wild. But since this is a Kalos game, it's gonna have Mega Evolutions. Now we don't know if we'll have just the Megas from Kalos or Oras, or even both. But I doubt they'll give a starter both a Mega new regional form at the same time. So Gen 1 and 3 are out. So that leaves us with Gen 4, 8, and 9, or a Gen repeat. Now there's another two issues. One, I'm not too confident they'll add any of the Gen 9 starters in the game, since this game will be in the same generation. And two, personally, I don't want to have another generation repeat in this game. But since they will be adding any of the Gen 9 starters as your primary starter pick, we're just gonna have to do a Gen repeat. So for my personal picks, I'll have Chimchar, Grookey, and Totodile. I chose these stars for one reason, since I think they could get regional forms based on other RPG classes. If you don't know, the Kalos stars are based on RPG classes, Chestnut being the warrior, Delphox being the wizard or mage, and Greninja being the rogue. So Chimchar would be based on a monk, since it'll be very interesting to see Infrared more peaceful than filled with nothing but anger. Grookey will be based on a bard. It definitely makes sense that this line will have something to do with music, and it'll be very more interesting to see Grookey with more of a primitive or an older instrument. Finally, I have Totodile, and this might sound a bit weird, but I think he'll be based on the Necromancer. I think the idea of making the Totodile line a bit more like zombie-ish looking or undead looking would be awesome, and it could also have the Revival Blessing or its own signature ability that works similar to it. Now my actual predictions for the starters, I think it would be Piplup, Snivy, and Litten. Piplup mainly for Empoleon being based on Napoleon, Snivy for its design and how very royal it kind of looks, and just really looks like it would be part of that region. And Litten's kind of a toss-up since it was that or Scorbunny, but I chose the idea of Litten because I can see it being more royal, and a lot of the times royal families will have like a fancy looking cat. But it'll also be very fun to see Incineroar being more royal-ish and smug looking. Next are the Mega Evolutions. Now for my Mega Evolution picks, I'm going to be picking mainly just Kalos Pokemon, since I thought it was strange we only got one Pokemon from Kalos that has a Mega Evolution. So my picks are going to be Talonflame, Aegislash, Noivern, Florges, and both Yveltal and Xerneas. I feel like we'll get both Yveltal and Xerneas as Megas, or at least a new form of them, and the rest of the Pokemons are the ones I really like, and I can see and I feel like if we were to get new Megas, those are some good choices. And the reason why I didn't include the Kalos starters, which may be a bit of a hot take, but I kind of hope we don't get too many Megas. If you include both Mewtwo and Charizard Megas, we have 48 Mega Evolutions in Pokemon, which is quite a bit. I also feel like while the Kalos stars could get them, I wouldn't be personally upset if they don't. And I feel like there are more Pokemon that should get them than those starters. But I've also heard people say that this game could introduce Mega Charizard and Mewtwo Z, and with that, I hope that isn't the case. If they were gonna add new Megas, I want Pokemon who ever received any Mega Evolutions or just any love in general to get them, instead of Pokemon that already have 2 Megas. Besides, I would personally prefer more regional forms than Megas, since Megas are more of a gimmick and they won't be added in the next game, while regional forms have a more likely chance to make another return. Next are the regional forms. Figuring out what Pokemon should get a regional form or evolution is tough, since if they're going to add new Megas, then I feel like the regional forms will get affected by that. So my personal picks, I'm going to have Kecleon, which I'll have a new evolution that's based on the Jackson's Chameleon. I would also like to see a new evolution for the Dragonair line. Instead of Dragonair becoming Dragonite, I would like to see it turned into Amphitheater, which I hope I pronounced correctly, that being possibly a Dragon Fairy type, a type that's only exclusive for Mega Altaria. Finally, I would love a new form or evo for Tropius. I like to see him be more based on the good old 52 Bomber in the Monster Hunter series, mainly since the idea of explosive bananas sound very funny to me. Next will be the gameplay / story. I decided to group these two together since my idea of what these two could be kind of intertwined with each other. I feel like most of the gameplay will be similar to Legends Arceus with how you can run around the world with different mounts, throw Pokeballs at wild Pokemon, alphas, and etc. But one thing that the trailer could possibly hinting, which I feel like is a huge stretch to assume, but would be cool, is how Illumia City will play out. My prediction is that you will be involved with the rebuilding of the city. You'll have to work with a small team, and after some time you have a larger team of people that help you build up the city. You'll venture out in the wild, capturing Pokemon and farming resources. You may also need certain Pokemon to help build certain parts of the town or harvest certain resources. And you'll probably have to do something with AZ since Legends Z-A is that backwards. I'm surprised if he doesn't make an appearance in the game in some shape or form. But those are my wishlist / predictions for Pokemon Legends Z-A, and what do you think? Do you agree or disagree with what I have to say? Let me know down in the comments below. But also let me know what your predictions or what would you like to see in Legends Z-A as well. I'd love to hear it. But that's wrap up today's video. I hope you enjoyed. If so, hit that like button. If you're not to the channel, hit the subscribe button. That would be appreciated. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.